In 1965, 17-year-old high school student Randy Garner stayed awake for 264 hours. That's 11 days to see how he'd cope without sleep. On the second day, his eyes stopped focusing. Next, he lost the ability to identify objects by touch. By day 3, Garner was moody and uncoordinated. At the end of the experiment, he was struggling to concentrate, had trouble with short-term memory, became paranoid, and started hallucinating. Although Garner recovered without long-term psychological or physical damage, for others, losing shut-eye can result in hormonal imbalance, illness, and in extreme cases, death. We're only beginning to understand why we sleep to begin with, but we do know it's essential. Adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and adolescents need about 10. We grow sleepy due to signals from our body telling our brain we are tired, and signals from the environment telling us it's dark outside. The rise in sleep-inducing chemicals like adenosine and melatonin send us into a light doze that grows deeper, making our breathing and heart rate slow down and our muscles relax. This non-REM sleep is when DNA is repaired and our bodies replenish themselves for the day ahead. In the United States, it's estimated that 30% of adults and 66% of adolescents are regularly sleep-deprived. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. Staying awake can cause serious bodily harm. When we lose sleep, learning, memory, mood, and reaction time are affected. Sleeplessness may also cause inflammation, hallucinations, high blood pressure, and it's even been linked to diabetes and obesity. In 2014, a devoted soccer fan died after staying awake for 48 hours to watch the World Cup. While his untimely death was due to a stroke, studies show that chronically sleeping fewer than 6 hours a night increases stroke risk by 4.5 times compared to those getting a consistent 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye. For a handful of people on the planet who carry a rare inherited genetic mutation, sleeplessness is a daily reality. This condition, known as fatal familial insomnia, places the body in a nightmarish state of wakefulness, forbidding it from entering the sanctuary of sleep. Within months or years, this progressively worsening condition leads to dementia and death. How can sleep deprivation cause such immense suffering? Scientists think the answer lies with the accumulation of waste products in the brain. During our waking hours, our cells are busy using up our day's energy sources, which get broken down into various byproducts, including adenosine. As adenosine builds up, it increases the urge to sleep, also known as sleep pressure. In fact, caffeine works by blocking adenosine's receptor pathways. Other waste products also build up in the brain, and if they're not cleared away, they collectively overload the brain and are thought to lead to the many negative symptoms of sleep deprivation. So what's happening in our brain when we sleep to prevent this? Scientists found something called the glymphatic system, a cleanup mechanism that removes this buildup and is much more active when we're asleep. It works by using cerebrospinal fluid to flush away toxic byproducts that accumulate between cells. Lymphatic vessels, which serve as pathways for immune cells, have recently been discovered in the brain, and they may also play a role in clearing out the brain's daily waste products. While scientists continue exploring the restorative mechanisms behind sleep, we can be sure that slipping into slumber is a necessity if we want to maintain our health and our sanity.
Hey guys, it's Miss Barnett and Nurse Francisco, and we are here to talk to you guys about sleep. Because at Kilo, we have a problem. You guys are not taking sleep seriously. You're not getting enough sleep at night. You're staying up late on Snapchat, on Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, video games, anything and everything. And we want you to know how important sleep is and the negative effects it can have. So sleep is a biological need. Teenagers need they say shoot for 9 hours a night. A lot of you guys are getting 5, 6, 7 hours. And when that happens, think of it as trying to drive a car that doesn't have gas. You're not going to perform as well as you could, because what happens when you sleep is that is when your memory converts the experiences that you've had that day into your long-term memory. So everything that you heard in class that day, you will not remember as well if you don't get a full night of sleep. If you're not sleeping enough, your stress hormone cortisol will go up. So when your stress hormone cortisol goes up, you are going to have trouble focusing in class, and it affects your emotional regulation. So things that might not be a huge deal will seem like a bigger deal if you haven't had enough sleep. So the nurse is going to talk to you about some tips to help you get a better night's sleep.
So like Miss Barnett said, we're all guilty of it at times, but it should be one of our top priorities to make sure we're getting enough sleep at night. Recent studies are showing that 7 out of 10 high school students are not getting enough sleep at night. That's 70% of you guys are not sleeping enough at night. At your age, you should be getting a minimum of 8 hours, closer to 10 if you can, consistently each night. What happens medically if you're not getting enough sleep at night? It can put you at higher risk for obesity, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, like she said, attention, problems focusing, and problems coping also with things that you normally would be able to cope with on a daily basis. So what can we do to get better sleep? As you guys have heard, the biggest thing is having a consistent bedtime routine. And I've been doing this with my kids since they were babies, but we stick to our bedtime routine at our house as much as we can each night. So that means setting a bedtime that works for you and for your family and being realistic, keeping with that routine each night. So having a relaxing bedtime routine. You're not on your electronics. They say for 30 minutes before bedtime, all electronics should be shut off. So we're not surfing on our phones, our iPads, we're not watching movies, and we're not playing video games before bedtime. Your brain needs time to just kind of shut down a little bit. Again, be consistent. So even on the weekends, you should not be staying up till 4 in the morning just because you can sleep till 2 o'clock the next day. Getting to bed at a decent hour on the weekends and still waking up around the same time that you're waking up during the school day. Making sure that your bedroom is a place where you sleep. It should be quiet and dark and relaxing. And that way your body is just kind of in tune to that routine. This is where you're going. This is where you're sleeping. Again, you don't want electronics in your bedroom. So we don't need a TV in our bedroom. That's just going to tempt us more. So shutting all of that down before bed. Another thing you can do is avoid large meals before bedtime, avoiding caffeine. So no coffee, energy drinks, soda before bed. That's not going to help either. And getting some exercise. Studies show that if you exercise every day for at least a little bit, it's going to help you sleep better at night. I know sometimes we think exercising keeps us awake, but if you're doing it during the day, it's going to promote better sleep at night.
Mm-hmm. And if you have trouble falling asleep because you have so much on your mind and you're thinking about what you need to do the next day, you can keep a journal by your bed and just jot down what you're worried about, and that will help you to leave that to rest and save that problem for the next day where you can look at it in the morning. One way to see how much you're sleeping is they have free sleep tracker apps that you can put on your phone or on your school iPad. What you do is you plug it in at night and you turn it face down next to your bed, and it will monitor how much sleep you're getting at night and how well you're sleeping. And it's a great way to keep yourself accountable, and it's kind of cool because that way you're able to notice, do I perform better at school on the nights where I've had a better night's sleep. So if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to come talk to us. Let's all start getting more sleep as a school.
Get around 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night.
5 hours of sleep.
3 to 4 hours of sleep.
5 hours a night.
9 to 6, work. Then you go home and eat something. Then like 10 to 2 or 3 is all the other stuff.
I live far away, so I get home late. I also try and make time to work out.
I just have really bad insomnia, and I tend to overextend myself, so when I do have the time to sleep a full night, I just don't know how to even begin sleeping.
To me, sleep is just something that you have to do, so the quicker that you can get it over with, the better.
I do worry at what point will the makeup sort of stop covering up my lack of sleep.
I think I look sort of exhausted under my eyes. It's sort of baggy and my eyes look a little bloodshot and my skin kind of looks dull.
There's definitely times when I wake up and I feel like I look older.
I notice that I don't get enough sleep because the first thing I think of when I wake up is coffee.
I'm trying to change my sleeping habits because I know it's detrimental to my health and my appearance.
I will never change my sleeping habits. I will just figure out more ways to ingest caffeine.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't want to open my eyes.
I sort of recognize myself, but I don't at all.
Ooh, oh, close up, it's gross.
I think it's more disturbing because I look younger than I expected, but still terrible.
My skin both looks and feels tired.
Definitely don't love how I look.
Oh, I hate the under eyes, man. The under eyes are the worst. This is the first time I've ever seen myself with wrinkles. I don't like it.
I didn't expect the wrinkles under my eyes.
I look really pale. I don't look like a happy, healthy person right now. I said nothing would make me change my sleeping habits. I think I'm a little convinced.
It's really weird to see myself with all those wrinkles above my eyelids.
I definitely feel less invincible. Like I realize now that these bad habits are gonna catch up to me at some point.
It definitely makes me want to change my sleeping habits. I don't know if I'm actually going to.
It definitely makes me want to sleep more if this is what I'm going to look like.
There's a certain, I don't know, melancholy to the overall look that is off-putting. I think that's worse. That projection to the world to look like someone who's sad, that's startling. Also makes me want to sleep.